Imagine witnessing a rugby spectacle where sheer brilliance dances with heartbreaking blunders, leaving fans divided and desperate for answers. That's the essence of the Bulls' recent Champions Cup clash against Union Bordeaux-Begles, a match that saw South African flair explode before fizzling out in a 33-46 defeat at Loftus Versfeld. But here's where it gets controversial. Was it individual lapses that doomed the team, or a deeper systemic issue? As we dive into the player ratings for Johan Ackermann's squad, we'll unpack each performance with fresh insights, helping even newcomers to the game grasp the nuances. And this is the part most people miss: how a mix of Springbok-like heroics and costly miscues mirrored the team's broader struggles. Let's break it down, player by player, with a friendly nod to the highs, lows, and everything in between. Starting at the back, fullback Willie le Roux brought some clever playmaking to the table, using smart passes to set up Handre Rudolph for a try, and holding his own in aerial duels. However, he and fellow fly-half Handre Pollard might need to shoulder more responsibility for failing to seize control of the game. Overall, a solid but not spectacular outing earns him a 6. Winger Canan Moodie was arguably one of the Bulls' standout performers, channeling that Springbok magic in the green and gold. He brilliantly dodged Romain Bureaus to dot down before halftime and gave Louis Bielbieri headaches in the air, injecting the energy the team craved. While teammates sometimes let those opportunities slip, Moodie also pulled off a heroic try-saving tackle. His spark was undeniable. Think of it as the lightning bolt in a storm. And it's easy to see why he's a fan favorite. Rating 8. Center David Kriel faced a tough test when Bordeaux capitalized on his yellow card, putting the Bulls on the back foot at a crucial juncture. It wasn't his finest hour, but nor was it a complete disaster. He held his ground well enough in other phases. A middling 5 reflects the mixed bag. Inside center Harold Vorster saw the Bulls' defensive structure crumble at times, and he, along with Kriel, could have done more to organize the backline. A late turnover after a Moodie break directly led to a try that sealed the visitors' dominance. He had some promising moments in the first half, but like many, his impact faded as the game wore on. Rating 6. Winger Sebastian de Klerk looked every bit the future Springbok, and it's no surprise Rassie Erasmus had him on standby earlier this year. He racked up over 100 meters in carries, topped only by Marcell Coetzee in tackles with an impressive 12, and shone in aerial contests with eye-catching breaks that put the Bulls on the front foot. For beginners, picture him as the speed merchant slicing through defenses like a hot knife through butter. Pure class deserves an 8. Handre Pollard, the fly-half whose game was a roller coaster of genius and gaffes. He masterfully linked with de Klerk for a try, but not before a weak defensive effort allowed Damien Penaud's score, compounded by his scrum-half partner. That spectacular offload set Akker van der Merwe up for a try was pure poetry, yet his yellow card felt utterly avoidable and costly. Add a poor cross-kick inside Bordeaux's 22 in the second half, and suddenly the momentum swung decisively. But here's where it gets controversial. Is Pollard unfairly singled out, or does his inconsistency highlight a leadership void? Many argue he embodies the Bulls' potential, but also their fragility. Rating 5. Scrum half Paul DeWet appears to be a shrewd acquisition for the Bulls, with the team's unraveling coinciding with his exit. He secured a gutsy turnover late in his time on the field, handled kicks well, and even attempted a bold tackle early on, though it missed the mark. His presence stabilized things, earning a respectable 7. Shifting to the forwards, Captain Marcell Coetzee is rarely off color, and this was no different. As the Bulls' top tackler, he excelled at stopping gains, stole ball over the ruck, and was a thorn in the opposition's side. Efficient and relentless, think of him as the engine room's reliable heartbeat. Rating 7. Flanker Reinhard Ludwig capped off a try-scoring chance expertly and stayed active throughout his 72 minutes, before Elric Lou replaced him. Solid work, but nothing to write home about beyond that. A 6. Lock Marco van Staden's day ended abruptly after just 14 minutes when Jefferson Poirot's collision left him hobbling. Not the kind of pain anyone wants in a high-stakes game. He gave it a go, but had to leave the field. Rating, 5. Wak JF van Heerden felt the heat from Bordeaux's lineout pressure and some erratic throws from Akker van der Merwe, yet he generally stepped up. His line running off Chakweini's shoulder in a try build-up was spot on. For those new to rugby, lineouts are those throw-ins where teams compete for possession, a key battleground. Rating, 7. Flanker Cobus Wiese exited early in the 46th minute, looking strapped and uncomfortable, which might worry Ackerman's coaching team. Despite that, he delivered his trademark aggressive tackles and sturdy defense. Rating, 6. Prop Mornay Smith battled evenly at the scrum against the experienced Jefferson Poirot, sometimes gaining the edge, and his underrated mobility shone in defensive cleanups and drives, including one that aided Rudolph's try. Scrums, for beginners, are those intense pushes where forwards lock horns, a test of strength and technique. Rating, 7. Hooker Akker van der Merwe was superb around the field, scoring off Pollard's offload and denying Pinot a try with a brilliant block. However, his line-out throws hampered the Bulls' ball-launching efforts, costing them dearly. Rating, 6. Prop Alulutho Chakweini dominated Carlusadi in scrums, provided soft hands to release Van Heerden, and contributed defensively. He performed his duties admirably. Rating, 7. The replacements were a mixed bag. Jandre Rudolph was outstanding after Van Staden's injury, potentially earning the bench a higher mark on his own. The returning Springbok front rowers, Johan Grobbelaar, Gerhard Steenekamp, and Wilco Louw, made their presence felt in scrums, but as the bomb squad, they imploded in the final quarter, allowing Bordeaux to pull away. The late collapse was a stark contrast to the early promise, highlighting a potential lack of depth or composure under pressure. Overall rating, 4. In wrapping up, this match wasn't just a loss. It was a mirror reflecting the Bulls' highs and lows, from Springbok-inspired sparks to implosions that left fans scratching their heads. What do you think? Is Handre Pollard's duality a sign of untapped potential or a red flag for the team? Should the focus be on individual errors, or does the coaching need a rethink? And this is the part most people miss: how such games fuel debates about rugby's future stars. Share your views in the comments. Do you agree with these ratings, or see it differently? Let's discuss. For more on this topic, check out related pieces, like Eben Etzebeth devastated after eye-gouging ban as Sharks put Springboks lock to work, or Saracens player ratings. Noah Kaluri rules the skies again, while debutant and England snub impress. Also dive into Bulls v Bordeaux, 5 takeaways as French artistry overcomes South African industry in a Champions Cup meeting of rare quality. And Bulls v Bordeaux-Begles, winners and losers, as Springbok stars' final quarter shocker proves costly in high-quality clash. And don't miss Investec Champions Cup Fantasy Rugby Dream XV, Bath dominate as most popular players revealed.